Welcome to my channel. I'm a 20th Key, and this is Reignite Sandy Speaks. Again, welcome to my channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell, comment, participate. Okay, so this is Critical Thinking with the 20th Key, and this topic today is: is it exposing or exploiting? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and put this. This is like, y'all know I'm dramatic. Look, y'all gonna learn that I'm just passionate about things, okay? And this is something that really bugs me. It really bugs me, and I think it really influences Black people's lives in this country. And I'm really big on accountability. We are not responsible for anybody else's behavior, attitudes, or how they do things. We can only control ourselves. So we have to be mindful of what we do and how we contribute to things that actually affect Black people. So I'm going to put this tweet in here. I'm going to talk about this guy. And I really don't know this guy. I've seen him a couple of times on Twitter. I've seen him in spaces. And he has this specific theme that I'm seeing. And I don't know, like, I'm really hesitant about saying this. I know people go online and they make accusations about people. And I think, which relates to this video, how we talk about people, characterize people, it really can determine how a person is perceived, or it can influence other things in our lives. And I know I'm not making sense. I just am really cautious that I don't want to offend anybody. And much of this subject matter is not a pleasant subject matter. And one of my major concerns is that Black people in this country is consistently being negatively framed, made to be feel like they're not good enough, just devalued. And I don't want to contribute to that, but I want to bring awareness to things. And I just really believe that as a group, that, and just even the country, not, and for the most part, I'm talking to Black people. If you're a non-Black person, you are welcome to listen. You're welcome to put input in. You're welcome to take honest comments. I've seen in some rooms where Black people do not want to get other people's point of view. I'm not from that school. I want to get everyone's point of view, because what I actually believe that this is America. It's a melting pot of people from different walks of life, different nationalities, ethnic groups, religions, and we have to live here together and as a community. I do think racially that we have some serious concerns that we need to address. And this is why this is Critical Thinking with the 20th Key, because I think we need to address these things critically and objectively so we can finally get solutions. My overall goal is for Black people to finally be free in this country, that their experience is equal to that of anyone else. And I'm not of the mind that can't be achieved. I believe it can be. And that's what I'm working towards. And I wish and hope that you feel the same way I do. It's not just humor me. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this tweet. Exposing, or exploiting. So this guy's name is Terrain Walker. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name properly. And I'm hesitant about this because I've seen him in different spaces on Twitter. I've heard him speak. And I don't know if originally I thought his behavior came from a place of just not knowing better. Seeing the attitudes, the behavior, and his content consistently appears a certain way. And Black people, this is to Black people, I want to talk about this with you. Okay, so his name is Terrain Walker. So it's a tweet, and it's really got under my skin. If you follow me on Twitter, y'all know I be going off, right? Y'all know I'm emotional, and I just be really getting pissed. I'm a girl, okay? Guilty as charged. We're emotional. So on the tweet, and I'm going to put it here, it says, first, Terrain says, I can't show the designated boogeyman being men. It throws the narrative off, okay? Then it says, the guy posts a picture that media will never promote or support. You guys, I am so effing annoyed by this post. Because I don't know what the F it's about. Yes, I'm cursing because this is so annoying and so ignorant to me. And I don't want to offend anybody. It's annoying and it's ignorant, and I maybe shouldn't be so aggressive because I'm here to encourage Black people to think critically. And sometimes we know we just we receive things passively. We don't really focus and pay attention to what's occurring, what's happening, and how it's influencing us. Let me tell you why I don't like this. I don't know what the F he's talking about. Apparently, these Black men are doing something positive, but we don't know about them, what they're doing positive. What we see, and this is this man, Terrain Walker. I don't know who this man is. I called him backwards on Twitter, and I probably, y'all, if y'all know me, I don't come for people like that. If I say something negative, I'm really annoyed with you, and something I want to chastise myself because I love Black people. And I don't want to attack anybody. We always want to attack. So it's not my position to attack anyone. But I don't follow this guy. But on Twitter, when you retweet whatever, I've seen his tweets. And I'm going to tell you what first initially upset me about him. It was about the Democratic Party. I guess he's part of the Democrats. Okay, I'm a registered Republican, and I'm building a Black Party. I don't want to get too much into partisan politics right now, but I don't believe they're either Republicans or Democrats or for Black people. I think that we get caught in the middle. So I'm developing a Black Party. My views are conservative, but I'm a moderate conservative. Okay, my views are not hard and fast on one side. Okay, I just think objectively about each issue. Okay, this guy might be a Democrat, and this is one of the things I don't like about partisan politics. Partisan politics is like football or sport or like basketball. Like I'm on this team and you're on this team and we just trying to win. We're not actually looking and seeing what in a sport, in athletics, you're trying to win. It's not that the community or the nation is influenced by if either team wins. I'm not saying this properly. I believe partisan politics is I'm Republican, you're Democrat, you're the enemy, instead of what's best for the community. Okay? And it's too much of that. Right? So I believe this guy's a Democrat. I'm going to tell you something later on about what actually initially caught my eye about him. And now I'm hesitant because let me leave with what my instincts are. I've seen him do it so much, and y'all like, what did he do? I've seen him do this so much. I'm questioning, is he doing it on purpose, or he just doesn't know any better? Because when I've chastised him, I've had other young Black men come to his defense, and then I explain to them what my problem is. That's why it's important that we critical think. On my 8-minute tangent about this man, Terrain Walker, I am annoyed with this post because we don't know what it's about. Okay? It says, can't show the designated boogeyman being men. It throws the narrative off. What he consistently does is perpetuate negative stereotypes about Black men. And he does it by these kind of posts. If you are not a critical thinker, okay, let me say this to you, because you might already know this just because you know this just by common sense, okay? My background is business. So I learned about business and marketing. So I understand how to brand things, how to create images, how to create buzz, how to create an image or an impression about something, okay? It's when we read and we say things, okay? So if he's insinuating that the world sees Black men as the boogeyman. And what he doesn't recognize is you are perpetuating that. When Black men see this post, they're going to perceive themselves as the boogeyman. The unconscious mind is not going to distinguish between who's saying. The unconscious mind hears it. And this is one of the major issues with black people in this country. And often we are a party to it. Oftentimes we are like influential in how we are perceived. And I really struggle with communicating that to you guys effectively because it's like I know what I know because I learned this in school. So I recognize it. So is his intent, what is his intent? To expose America for being racist? Or is he exploiting the pain of black people? See, we're going to talk about this. Actually, we're going to get into a couple of different topics on this subject because, you know, I'm sitting here, it's like almost, I don't know what time it is, almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm tired. But I really want to talk about this subject, and I hope I'm going to be in a mindset to be able to speak to you guys intelligently. And I apologize, you guys. I'm clinically depressed. So therefore, being depressed, I suffer with I'm forgetful as fuck. Train of thought. Certain thoughts trigger me, and I get a physical effect. Okay. And so I'm in therapy. I'm seeing doctors. I'm trying to get better. This is what's happening, and this is one of the main things that influences me is that I am really suffering as a human being, as an American citizen, as a person in this country because of my color of my skin. And it's my goal and my purpose is to ensure that black people moving forward as we progress and our kids and our grandkids come in this world, that they don't have to go through what we're going through. And I'm doing that by really analyzing and examining what is happening in this country and how we can improve it. And more importantly, how as a people we can alter and influence what's being said. So this guy does this kind of stuff all the time. Okay? There's two reasons why I'm annoyed by this post. We don't know what they're talking about. Now, and I get, brothers, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know y'all my heart. I know. 'Cause this is not just black men doing this. This is like black people do this. Okay? But man, I'm going to tell y'all, I hold y'all to a high standard because y'all a man. You're going to find that out about me. I'm a girl, you a man. So I put a lot of responsibility in your plate. And I expect you guys to accept it. So the rare guy says, a picture of the media will not promote. And then the guy says, can't show the designated boogeyman being men. We do not know what this is about. Let me try to open it up and look at. We do not know what this is. And I'm so annoyed. It says, welcome parents. So is it a father and daughter event? Look, now I'm looking at it. I see daughters and daddies. I guess they may want me to just insinuate or assume what it is. I'm looking further at it, and it's daddies and daughters. Now I feel embarrassed, but I'm still going to call you out. Because no one's saying what it is. Now I feel dumb because I looked at it, and now I'm like, okay, it's dads and their daughters. And in the background it says, welcome parents. I don't know what it is though. I'm insinuating. I'm assuming. And I want you guys to recognize how this is detrimental to us as a people. And this Terrain Walker, he does this often. And I want to talk about this. And I know you're saying he does what often? Because I'm a little tired. So, okay, let me try and say this effectively. Family, first of all, the law of attraction. What you focus on expands, okay? What you focus on expands. And now I'm speaking in metaphysical terms. Not everyone's not going to understand that. How we are influenced about our perception, how we see things or feel about things, it's what we're exposed to, okay? What he's saying is that the black man is considered the boogeyman, okay? You guys, I always struggle with this. because in my life, for the past 20 years, I've lived in a suburban area. So black men being boogeymen has not been my perception. That's not something that I believed. Because I'm on this social justice journey, I'm exposed to different people from different walks of life. And in certain black communities, black men are made to feel like they are the bottom of the barrel. Okay? These are feelings, ideas that are foreign for me. So I'm coming to learn and understand them. And I'm trying to recognize the source of them. Okay? I'm going to put a video in here, and I want to talk about this with y'all really quickly as it relates to this man constantly saying, he constantly says negative stuff about black men. And he says it in a way where he is defending black men. But that's not what's happening. If you're a black man, you hear this black man calling, insinuating that the world thinks black men are boogeymen. Black men are going to feel like they're boogeymen. Even if they're good black men, they know they're not bad. They're going to be made to feel consciously and unconsciously that the world believes them to be boogeymen. Okay? Now, listen. You might be saying, that's what America, that's what the world thinks about black men. Okay? Can I debate that? All I can do is change that. Work to make it better. I'm going to put this video in here and we're going to talk about this, okay?
In Brown versus Board of Education, the famous case that desegregated schools in the 1950s, Dr. Kenneth Clark conducted a doll test with black children. He asked them to choose between a black doll and a white doll. In most instances, the majority of the children preferred the white doll. I decided to reconduct this test as Dr. Clark did to see how we've progressed since then. Can you show me the doll that you liked best or that you'd like to play with?
This one. I like that one.
Show me.
I'm kidding.
This one.
That one?
This one. I like to play with this.
And can you show me the doll that is the nice doll? And why is that the nice doll?
She's white.
And can you show me the doll that looks bad? Okay. And can you give, and why does that look bad?
Because it's black.
And why do you think that's a nice doll?
Because she's white.
And can you give me the doll that looks like you? "15 out of the 21 children preferred the white doll."
Okay, let's talk about the video. That video always bugged me. It always bugged me because, like, I see that there's children like this in the world, okay? But I wasn't raised that way. When I was a toddler, 10, 9, 8, I had dolls. But my mom would get a black doll. Like, did I have white dolls? Sure, I had white dolls. But I came up at a time where it was cool to be black. I'm black and I'm proud. So I don't know if this was even a time period. Just how I was raised, we look for black things. So for you to ask me what doll I would want or which doll I thought was bad or good, I would never say black is bad, okay? Point that I'm getting at with this video about the dolls, and I hesitate to say this because I say things that make my people uncomfortable because I feel like we have to examine it. Where did those kids get those images? Where did those kids get those type of thoughts and ideas? These are children, okay? And based on the original experiment, this is where the Brown versus Board of Education began. Black kids were segregated. So if black kids were segregated, who's making them think that black is bad? That black isn't good? Who's making them think? In these videos, in the experiment, they asked you, what's the good doll? Which doll look like you? Which one's the bad doll? So family, we got to really be honest about this. If these black children are being raised to believe that black is bad, who's teaching it to them? Which I thought is so ironic that this original experiment was what perpetuated, what created board versus Board of Education, where they desegregated schools. Because
here's what I found.
I'm sorry. Okay, am I making sense? I hope so. I'm trying to say, and family, please look at this objectively. If you don't agree with me, if you have an opinion, please leave a comment, because this is a real discussion. This is critical thinking with the 20th key. What I want to know, if these black children, I think she said 15 out of 20 something, picked the white doll. Who's teaching them? These kids are not exposed to white people. They're not around white people. So who's giving them, making them believe these thoughts? Is it being done inadvertently? Is someone saying around these children, you know how they treat black people? You know they hate us. You know they don't give us anything. You know they call us the boogeyman. You got to be mindful what you say and what you do. Family, I see this stuff come on my timeline, and I'm thinking, they're trying to expose something, but what they're doing is that they are exploiting the pain of black people. I dare not say this man's name. I promised myself I would never say this man's name in public, but now that he's dead, because I never want to promote him. That's what Kevin Samuels did. Kevin Samuels, I heard this girl say, Dana was like, oh, him and Dana and it's like Dana with the data, and Tariq Nasheed. Oh, he's a phenomenal marketer. No, he's not. He's not a phenomenal marketer. Black people, let me explain something to you. Let's keep it 100. When you want to get a rise of somebody, when you want to get attention, when you want to get clicked, when you want to get numbers and attention, you say something racist. You say something racial. Like, for example, I'm going to give you an example, and this kind of annoys me. You guys might not know this guy, but his name is Grant Cardone. I know Grant Cardone because I was, by profession, I'm a salesperson. I read his book called the 10X Rule. 10X Rule is like go, 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 just do. 10X is you go ham. You just go guerrilla marketing. You just do everything to the 10th power, to the 10th degree. That's his mindset. If you read his book and you knew how he was self-made and you knew how he thought, you will understand. So Grant said some stuff about black kids. He said that 40% of his audience is young black men. And I know Grant, that's not the truth, okay? He said that. I think that, I know because I've seen Grant in spaces in Clubhouse. A lot of his close friends that he rock with are black people. Grant is self-made, okay? He's a marketer. He teaches how to market. He does real estate. He's just a self-made entrepreneur. He made comments saying that he target black kids, young black kids, and that he doesn't speak he keeps everything very simple and very just simple. And people were offended by it. And I'm upset because I defended him. So you have to know, if you read his book, you'll know who Grant is. Grant Cardone he's a marketer, and he is like an intense marketer. He's like, put it in your face. Do it to 110. And I read his book because, he helped me. I was going through, I was in a very abusive relationship, so I had my own issues. So in a sales environment, I would read books and teach myself stuff, and I read his book. And his book, 10X Rule, it's like you just go ham. You give 110. The way he teaches you is that it's your responsibility to your family, to your community, to black people, if you're black, to give 110. This is how he teaches. This is his mindset. I think Grant was a drug addict before. And I think he didn't do well, and then his father, something having to do with his father, this is very common amongst white males, something to do with his father, he turned his life around. So when people were coming for him, I was like, no, he didn't mean it that way. He's trying to say, when you speak to anybody in marketing terms, you speak it in effectively, you're going to say it in terms of words that they understand. If you are trying to teach someone who has who doesn't understand a specific industry, you speak in very simple terms where they can understand it. That is what it's called, an effective communicator. So at first I was defeated him. Okay? Then I saw today he had some post, I don't remember, I was trying to find it, where he said, was he exempt from using the N-word? Could he use the N-word? And family, I got black brothers I rock with. We be going back and forth. You know they got impressions, ideas about me anyway, okay? I was like, no, check him out. I've got a friend who's starting a business. Check out Grant Cardone. Now he's on Twitter. He has great space. He's a real estate guy. He's a businessman, okay? And he's like one of them no-nonsense, get it done type of businessman, okay? So I spoke highly about him. Then I see this post today where he asked, is he exempt from using the N-word? What? But then I read his book. And actually, some of what I do and who I am, I gain the knowledge and desire from 10X. What he said, one of the passages in his book, he talks about obscurity. Obscurity means where you're not known. That in this world, in an entrepreneurial business environment, what you want to do is combat obscurity, meaning you want to be known. My goal, one of my goals in life, and I developed this idea and this thought from reading his book. My goal is that when I walk in a room, I don't have to introduce myself. You're going to know who I am just based on my reputation, who I am, and what I've done for the community. Then I'm not going to have to say I'm a 20th. You're going to know. That is overcoming obscurity. So where I'm going with this, Grant Cardone saying something, you guys, I know I take the long route, negatively or to strike a nerve. See, the other stuff when he was saying, talking how he targeted young black guys from the street, that didn't offend me. Because I know Grant. I know Grant's kind of personality from his book and from listening to him. He really wants to encourage people who haven't performed to learn how to perform. Okay? And so I've seen him be with other black entrepreneurs. And I've seen him be with other black entrepreneurs. And so my initial belief is that he's just trying to help. But when he said something about, is it okay for me? Am I exempt for saying the N-word? Then I think he said some rap shit. Is he trying to be racist? No, family. He's trying to get attention. That's Grant Cardone. In his book, he even teaches you that. He teaches you, if you are sending out email marketing, and the customer is saying, you send me too many emails, Grant's practice is send more emails. Okay? So he is of the mind, all publicity is good publicity. I saw this, and I wish I would have found that clip. Maybe if I can find it before I post this, I'll put it in here. He said, am I exempt from the N-word? Grant know black people. It's black guys they're kind of groupies for Grant. And I think they're groupies for Grant because I think Grant real cool with them. Grant is a self-made millionaire. I don't know if he's a billionaire. He claims to be a billionaire, but I'm not so sure that he's that. He is self-made. He has planes and so forth. He's selling a aspirational lifestyle. I come from that kind of background, so I understand what that looks like. Him saying, am I exempt from the N-word? No, family. He's saying that to get clicks. He's saying that. Grant Cardone, a lot of people don't know Grant Cardone. I know Grant Cardone because my background is business development. So I've read books about how to develop business and how to be a good salesperson. That's why I know him. Most people don't know him. He caught some buzz by saying something about how he talks to young black street kids. And let me tell you, this kind of person, just like Donald Trump, this kind of person, he appreciates what you're talking about him, whether it's bad or good. Same thing with Elon Musk. I'm telling y'all, and I know I tend to go on a tangent because it's things that I know in my mind, and I don't think I always communicate them effectively. I know certain things from being a business background, and so what I'm saying to you is, Grant Cardone is an example of using blackness or the issue of being black to exploit, to garner attention, okay? When you say something negative about black people, regardless of what, it's going to garner attention.
We were going to pick here or Fort Lauderdale, right? I said, dude, we got to stay down here.
You're Miami.
There's color down here. There's crayons.
No. You're Miami.
There's the Rainbow Coalition.
Yeah, I don't know if you're fully white though, man. I think there's something going on there that somebody didn't tell you about, man.
I can use
Mommy,
the N-word.
Daddy,
I
Grandpa.
just got permission to use the N-word right here. Okay.
Who knows?
That's all I want. That's one of the stamps I want.
You want that?
You need
to go
a
to
brother
Chancellor
to tell me that I have permission to use the N-word. I got to carry it like my permit.
Have somebody validate it for you, man. Have somebody validate it.
I'm gonna have
put
an
a
N
shirt.
permit card. I'm gonna carry it around with me everywhere I go. Like,
4 colors.
I can use I can use the N-word. See? Okay, so entrepreneurship.
So the topic is exposing or exploiting. And that's going to be a big deal on this channel. Because I think it's a lot of money in racism in this country. I think there's a lot of YouTube channels, Instagram channels where they're like poking the bear, the racist bear. And I'm annoyed because I have this channel, and this channel is not about promoting racism, sensationalizing it. Okay, this channel is to document it so we can get legislation to protect and to protect us, so America can finally not be two Americas. Okay, so in terms of the Terrain Walker, I hope I'm saying his name properly. See, I'm really very confused or uncertain about it. Do I believe black people use, not just black people, just people in general, use race, subject matter topic to sell content? Yeah. Like the Undisputable guy, he's shining a light like me. I think that he does it to make a living because he's a YouTuber, of course. But I think that his objective is really to make change. But there's so many other, like there's some white Instagram people and TikTok people that expose racism. And I'm not saying that I am suspicious of them because they're white, but I am suspicious of them based on some of my experience with a couple of them. I think his name is Tinsley. I'll talk about that on another video. But Terrain Walker, see, my heart feels like he's a wounded black man. My heart feels like, and being in these different spaces, I come across black men like this, where they're good men. They're like good men. And they are just really disenchanted with the impression of black men in this country. How society, media, and other forces try to negatively correlate black men. Okay? So they work hard to not have that image themselves. And this is what I think about terrain. And I'm an empath, you guys, and I have this really keen gift of intuition. I have this. It's actually a gift that I know. Like, I feel what people have gone through and like what they're feeling. And I think that, like many black men, he's angry about how he's being perceived. It's like someone is calling me a liar, like, you a liar. 20 of you a liar. But I'm not a liar. That's the last thing I am. One of the things that I do not do is I'm not a liar. And if you call me a liar, I'm going to be mad because you call me. I'm not a fucking liar. Like, don't call me a liar. The world believes I'm a liar, but I'm not a liar. And that's the thing with black men. The world thinks that they're not good people, that they're not good to their women, they're not good dads, that they're like all these negative things. And so many black men are like, no, I'm not one of them. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a good black man. You know, that's what he said in the post, that they call them the boogeyman. And why I was annoyed with the post is that you would have done more good posting like, check out this daddy and daughter, whatever. We don't know what it was, what it is. Do you understand? You guys, I'm doing such a terrible job of communicating to y'all, and I'm criticizing people about communicating to us, and I'm doing such a horrible job. I'm trying to explain, and if you watch my videos, it's going to be the same sentiment. Okay? We are responsible for how we are perceived, how we carry ourselves, how we act. Are there bigger forces like mainstream media that negatively correlates black people? Yes. And I'm going to come for them because I have my own issue. And that's one of the problems that racism continues, because mainstream media is not covering. I just did a video I posted below of the black farmer. Reparations. Mainstream media is not covering this because they don't care about black people. Okay? Is it they don't care about us? Do they not want to help us? Whatever the motivation is, right? So if we are battling with these forces and these issues, we have to be on our game. We can't sit here and cry in our beer and saying, oh, they're harming us and they're doing this and that to us. Yes, they are. So what do? We put out positive images of black people. You guys, I'm sorry, but that post pissed me off. Because what was that post about? What was it? Is it to? So if you're saying, oh, mainstream media is calling black men boogeymen, like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, tell me. And if you have an answer, if you don't like what I'm saying, please comment. Okay, you guys have to start engaging with me, because you're going to see I'm very open-minded. This is critical thinking with the 20th key. You can change my mind if you give me compelling information. Him sitting there saying, he posting a picture, the guy posted a picture, he subtweeted on it. So if this is how the conscious mind and unconscious mind works, if you're reading that black men are considered boogeymen, when these thoughts are coming in your mind by a black man and seeing when the world thinks the black men are boogeymen, black men are going to feel like they're boogeymen. On my timeline, you don't see me saying nothing negative about black men. I love black men. They're fathers and leaders and lovers and smart and intelligent and tenacious. I speak positive things about my people. Okay? And so I just realized that because of our condition, these ideas and thoughts are rampant in our community, in our environment, in our space, and on social. So it's these men's desire to expose it. But are they exposing it? Guys, please forgive me for taking a long route, and I know that I do. This is not promise. I'm going to work on being better at it. Please stay with me, because I am aware of it. I start to rant because I'm angry. I start to rant because I really want you guys to understand what I'm saying. this Terrain guy posting that is not helping black men. Saying that the media is not going to post something positive about black men does what? Tell us stuff that we already know? If this is really happening in the media, then you counter it. You post positive things about black people. And you ain't got to say, hey, this is a positive post about black people. You just say, hey, check out this post. These are father and, we don't know what it is. This is a father and daughter meeting about a recital. We don't know what that was. If we see these images, it's going to slowly change and shape how we are perceived in this country. And some of y'all might be like, I don't give a fuck about what they think about me. I know black men tell, I don't care what they think about me. Me and John Sally, I'm gonna send you this picture. I'm gonna send you this video on Twitter. Me and you follow you on Twitter. Me and John Sally got into an argument years ago, probably about when he was hosting the reunion show for Basketball Wives. Because I was so disenchanted. I was like, you guys are negatively characterizing black women. And me and John was fighting on Twitter about it in the DMs. And I was like, do you not understand that if a white man who's interviewing a black woman happens to see a couple of those episodes, sit down and interview a black woman, he can't help but to have an image of these black women, what he sees on Basketball Wives. It's like you are changing and altering what the world thinks about us. Me and John Sally went back and forth, right? And that's the truth. That's what is happening with Terrain Walker. I know also when you post this stuff, black men be like, yeah, they talk, that he was actually tweeting. Let me hope I don't mess this up. He was actually so how should I say this better where you guys can understand? Is Terrain Walker and other people that post things like Terrain Walker, are they trying to help black people by exposing racism, or are they trying to garner attention by exploiting the pain of black people? So I have mixed emotions about Terrain. I think Terrain is a wounded black man who's been made to feel inferior his whole life, and he's just one of those black men in this country who really wants to demonstrate that he's a good black man, that black men are not monsters or boogeymen or deadbeats or negative. I do believe that he wants, that's one of his intentions, but I think he's going about it incorrectly. But I also think that he's driven by wanting to get attention. And so let me tell you where I first came into encounter Terrain Walker. It was during the election. Maybe I saw him before that. I think I've heard him in rooms a couple of times, maybe over a year ago. But as of recently, maybe like whenever the elections were, like 4 or 5 months ago, this is why it's been a trend with him. He said he had a room, and it was like they're blaming black men for the Democrats. What the fuck, bro? This was an ongoing thing during the election, after the election. They are blaming black men for issues with the Democratic Party. Hold up. Let me explain to y'all. Let me tell you how we are conditioned. These people are conditioned to negatively correlate black people. I know black men who held their vote. They feel like the Democratic Party does not have them in as concerns, that they don't care about the interests of black men. So I know a lot of black men who said they were not going to vote. And you guys, I was against. I was like, you're not voting helping. If you're not voting, you only helping if you vote against the other you vote opposed. Not voting is not going to hurt because they're not getting your vote, but the next person isn't. And then some black men I know vote conservative because they said blue no matter what or whatever is not helping our causes, our issues, okay? And so again, I didn't agree with it, but as the election unfolded, they made an impact. The problem was they didn't know how to positively spin it. They spent it because this is how they think. This is how a lot of people in this community consistently have a negative mind frame. Terrain Walker was saying, oh, they're blaming black men for the Democrat. No, brother. It should be black men are responsible for the changing the vote. Or, I'm not saying this right. It should have been black men are influential in this year's election. Either they didn't vote or they voted red. I hope I'm saying this properly. When it transpired, I had it in my mind, I said it properly. They were saying that black men were responsible for the harm of the Democratic Party. And that's again that we're conditioned to say things negatively. That was a positive thing. Black men demonstrated their impact and their influence on the election was what it should have read. Terrain Walker went in a room and saying, yeah, we're not responsible for the Democratic Party losses. What? No. Black men held their vote or voted opposing. That means that black men were influential. They affected and influenced the election. But this man negatively correlated it. You guys, I come in here and I do these videos all late and my mind is just tired. And I hope you guys stay with me. I promise you I'm going to get better. So I'm going to wrap this up. Something else I wanted to say before I go, and I hope you guys are still listening. I don't say certain things because I don't want to promote certain things. So I try to go around and say them intelligently. Cardi B mentioned these two characters. I see these two characters on my timeline all the time. Okay? The two monkey minstrel show, two black men who are exploiting black people, black Americans by acting like monkeys in minstrel shows. Family. Who's sharing those videos? I don't think white people are sharing those videos. Those videos of this minstrel show, that he's a minstrel show, this, whatever you want to call him, is being shared by black people. I see it on my timeline, just like Terrain Walker did. They'll post it and say something negative about it. And family, what I want you to know, you're not doing anything positive by posting these videos. Saying, oh, look at him. And because what they make these really absurd, racist videos. I've seen black women with white men saying, negative stuff like, yeah, they do it because they want you to share it. And you share by saying, look at this shit. And you're sharing it. I don't put that crap on my timeline. I don't respond to that on my timeline. So again, y'all know who I'm talking about, because it's some kind of petition to get them banned. It's these two little minstrel show guys acting like minstrel shows. They're acting like blackface minstrel shows. And I don't know their names. I wanted to be hesitant. I talked about them because I don't want to promote them. I'm not promoting them. I'm trying to tell you, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, if you post these videos that negatively depicts black people, you are part of the problem. Will white people share? Of course they will. But more black people are sharing that. Do you think a white person is going to circulate a video of a black man acting like a monkey? In a close-knit circle, yeah. But when we see these videos, family, look and see who's posting it. They come all down my screen. All this negative stuff. Where they're showing it. Like, whatever negative content about black people. Or just negative stuff. And I just see it, I'm thinking, why are you posting that? Why are you showing a black man that is exploiting and insulting black people? Why are you showing me that? Like, why do I need to know that? It's like, if you're a smart person, you know they're making those videos to go viral because they know the not so smart people are going to post and say, look at this shit. No, we don't need to look at this shit. We need to be posting positive things about black people. Uplifting things about black people. Y'all, listen, I'm tired. And I'm gonna stop. I hope you're listening. I hope you came this far. I know I rant. I promise you I'm gonna get better. Yeah, I promise. Anyway, listen, I'm a 20th key. This is Critical Thinking with the 20th key. Please subscribe, like, and comment. If you don't agree with me, if you think what I'm saying is nonsense, is some bullshit, leave a comment. Serious. Leave a comment. Y'all come fuck with me.